When the neighbors are interviewed, when someone's kid picks up an AK-47 or the mom goes and kills their kids, part of it is because when you're in a normal state, Stacey, we can't get our heads around this. You're a mom. What do we do with this? How do we help people understand it? How do we get our heads around it?
You know, I think it's very true that this is one of those unique situations, very much like you're both talking about. And what I always say across the board, whether there's mental illness or not, is when a mother suffers, the children suffer. And so what I'm seeing here is a lot of suffering. And because these neighbors didn't know anything and people around her don't seem to know what's going on, it makes me think that she isn't reaching out to people. She doesn't have a good support system. And whatever is going on as a parent, when something is going on in your life, you need to lean on your support system and get help.
Are there signs that people can look for? I'm asking this of either of you, that someone could know trouble is coming.
Absolutely. What you're looking for is a change in their normal behaviors. You're looking for an adjustment in their activities. Here's a woman who suddenly started telling the school that their father couldn't pick the child up, that a person who's withdrawing, a person who isn't communicating with people like they used to.
And yet, though, we couldn't have gone from those kinds of clues to saying, oh my gosh, be careful, she's going to drive her minivan into the river.
Right, but we could have asked her about how she's doing. We could have said, you know, we're seeing some subtle signs in your behavior. Tell me more about what's going on. You can try to sleuth out by asking very basic questions what someone's mental status is. And if it's not jiving with what you would expect it to be, then you can point them in the direction of help.
And I think that's the next thing for people at home, which is, how do you know when it's time to call a doctor? How do you know when it's time to call the police? And this is sort of general, this is sort of probably applies to most mental health kinds of circumstances. When do you call the doctor?
You know, we give people so many rights in this country, you know, as a parent, as an individual, and we try to say, you know, let them work out their own concerns. But I think as healthcare professionals, as friends and neighbors, we really have a responsibility to act on our feelings. So if you feel like something's just not right, ask someone or have them go for help, or if need be, call 911, have a protective call, a safety call be made.
So people are very reluctant to do that, though. Stacey, they sort of stay out of other people's businesses. They don't want to tell people how they should parent or live their life.
Absolutely. You know, in some ways, we're all looky-loos. Everybody's willing to rubberneck when there's an accident on the freeway, but when we really see something serious going on, we don't want to get involved. And what you can always encourage a person to do is talk to their doctor. A lot of times they feel safer, and the doctor is going to tell that person, you know what, you need to call the police, you need to go to a hospital.
I feel so crazed, though, when I'm on this program saying, well, ask your doctor, ask your doctor.
They can call you.
Yeah, well, this is what they end up doing, because the healthcare system here is so inadequate that many people certainly don't have primary care. They go to urgent care systems and they get milled through. There isn't what we imagine to be good healthcare available for so many people in this country. But let's try to outline for people, when do they call the cops? I mean, when should, just in a brief, like 3 things that absolutely you should be calling the police for? Dr. Sharp?
Danger to life is the most important thing.
So I'm going to hurt myself.
Absolutely, or I'm going to hurt somebody else.
But people go, oh, they're just crying for help. They're just acting out again. Don't assume anything. Call the cops.
I think that's right. You can say, you know what, based on what you told me, I've got no choice but to make sure that your safety is ensured.
Hurt somebody else?
Hurt someone else for sure. And the third thing would be if they really sound to be out of touch with reality. So if someone is saying crazy things in your estimation, that's another reason.
I'm hearing voices. I'm going to hurt somebody.
I'm seeing things. I'm getting messages from the TV. I feel like my child's the devil.
The FBI is looking after me.
I feel hopeless. I've got no choice at all but to die.